At what point in your career did you go from eating everything you can to actually programming meals? I don't know if I ever was completely on the eat everything in sight diet to gain weight. When I was younger and when I was first trying to gain weight, I didn't have as much money. So I kind of ate what I could afford at that time. So it was a lot of pasta. It was, I would have a lot of tuna, sometimes chicken, and then red meat was obviously more expensive. So that didn't come in quite as much, but I was mixing in protein shakes and, things like that, just trying to consume a large amount of food. But I will say I was always conscious of trying to have somewhat of a balanced diet where I was getting, protein and carbohydrate and fat coming in, certainly throwing in some more cheat foods. And then around 2011, actually I'd won the Arnold in 2011, and then I started working with Nathan Payton right before World's Strongest Man in 2011. So I had made it to that level where I'd won the Arnold and was going into Worlds, and that was the first Worlds that I won, working with Nathan. So from there, I got a little bit more specific, but I've had nutrition knowledge from what I studied in college, and so I had a very good base, I think, to build off of, and then from there, we have just got more and more detailed with all my meals. How does your close friendship with other competitors like Eddie, Nick, Rob go on comp days? Is it all serious, or do you still mess around? This really depends on the contest that we are competing at. So for contests like World's Strongest Man, there's so much downtime between events. You have to be able to flip that switch on and off. And so when it's go time, definitely it is 100% serious with me. I'm getting focused, I'm getting in the zone, I'm going to compete. But when you're done competing in the downtime, then you can laugh, you can have a good time, you can mess around a little bit and kind of flip that switch off. I think it's important to have that ability as well, and it's fun to be around the other guys, like those guys, other guys. I have a lot of great friendships in the sport, and guys that I look forward to being around and look forward to competing against, but they're also my friends. So when it's time to turn it on, I think all the guys at that level are able to kind of flip that switch and go into that zone, but when you're done, you can still laugh and have a good time. Will you add more flavors of your whey protein, also more colors of shirts? I love all your products and would like to see some more variety. Well, you are in luck when it comes to the protein. We will be adding 2 more flavors, and we'll be announcing those when that is ready to go, but they are in production right now, so hopefully we will not be waiting very long to announce those. Really excited about those flavors and adding to the Undefined Nutrition line. And then as far as the shirts go, something we are always working on. We've added a couple different colors, actually. We've got a red Shaw Classic and some different designs and that type of thing. But thank you for the feedback, and we are always looking to expand in those areas and make everybody happy. So we'll definitely take that into consideration. Do you feel good with your hamstring? I'm referring to the special treatment you got that Jerry Pritchett suggested. Yes, the long and short answer is definitely yes. I feel really good about where I'm at after that treatment. I am so thankful that Jerry recommended that. I'm so thankful to the clinic down there. And if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure to go back in the channel and check it out, because I described the treatment, what went on, and the update, I guess, and this is a great time to do the update, is that I gave it some time to kick in, and then I've got back to work, and I have not had one issue whatsoever. I haven't felt my hamstrings with going back into heavier training and loading them more. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful to Jerry. I'm thankful to Dr. Lundquist for doing a great job on me. She has checked in a couple times since the procedure, and this is something that will continue to work from what I understand for 6 to 12 months. So this is an incredible thing, and I can't recommend it high enough. If you're having an issue, something that's going on, like I was, if you have an injury, literally it is insane what the healing potential is of that. So I feel great. Knock on wood, I'm thrilled with how far things have come in this time period, and I'm looking forward to hopefully not having any more hamstring issues because of doing that treatment. Since you seem like such a friendly, gentle giant, I've always wondered, what do you think about to get yourself amped and pumped up for crazy heavy lifting? Well, like I said, it is important to have a switch that you can flip on and flip off. And so when I flip that switch on and when I'm getting amped up, I mainly think about the lift. I really can block everything out around me. And this is something that has taken me a good amount of time in my career to really dial in and refine, if you will. So you have to, go to a little bit different spot in your mind, but really it's, blocking everything out, and it's focusing on what you have to do and focusing on the weight. If it's a bar in front of you or whatever I'm going to lift, really being able to block everything else. So there's not necessarily things that I go to think about, or one thing in specific, or anything like that. But I've trained myself, and it really depends on the mood that I'm in at that moment and what contest I'm at, and maybe what has gone into the training. For example, I might think about that and think about all the hard work that I put in, and really get that amped up feeling at that moment to put all that hard work on display. So I'm not thinking terrible things or anything like that, but I very much am able to get into that zone when I need to get in that zone, so that I can perform and so that I can get the job done. Have you ever considered making a YouTube channel or TV show picking up where Strongest Man in History left off? If so, who would be your picks for the guys on the show? To answer this question, I would say yes. I've definitely thought about that, and based on what the Strongest Man in History was about. It was about going after legendary feats of strength and, these men throughout history that were, quite literally legends and things that they had done. So I love the show. I love strength history, as a lot of you guys know, and it is something that fascinates me. So if we could go after, some of these strength legends and make them come to life, tell their story, and do some kind of production, whether it be for YouTube or something else where we were potentially in control, but kind of picking up a little bit on where the Strongest Man in History left off. I feel like that would be pretty cool. It definitely would, and I'm not sure exactly how that would work. And I know you asked about what guys I would want to do that with. I feel like the four of us that did the Strongest Man in History, I felt like that was a really good mix of, different individuals that, came across really well. So that's what I would want it to be, whether it was, us four together again, or we did something, potentially a little bit different. Even if it was, for a couple different things, or maybe a one-off, just as a fun kind of trip to see how people liked it or enjoyed it. It's definitely something I thought about, but it would take a lot. It would take a lot to get that set up. And right now I'm working and doing so many different things in my life, and, with business and, with the Shaw Classic and with my own training, that it would be very, very hard to get that set up. But that doesn't mean that it would never happen. Are you watching the Eddie versus Thor fight? Also, are any other strongmen watching? Well, I would say for me, I do plan on trying to watch it. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to watch it or where I'm going to watch it, but I'm curious about what's going to happen. I'm glad that they finally have picked a date, and it looks like it's finally going to happen. So good for them. I feel like it's quite literally, I guess we are coming up on 2 years now since that was first announced. So, there's been a lot of changes, and, venue changes and date changes, and, a lot of different things that have gone on that have been kind of hard to follow, to be fair. But it looks like they have a date. It looks like they're going to do it. So, yes, I will be tuning in, or trying to tune in if I can figure that out. So that is the first part of the question. And then second, are the other strongmen watching? I would assume that they would probably be checking it out, but with that being said, I have not talked to anybody about this, about what their thoughts are, or if they will be tuning in. But I would assume that quite a few of the guys are probably going to tune in to check it out, just because we want to see what's going to happen. So yeah, I hope it goes well, and we'll see. I guess get to find out together what the outcome is going to be. Besides training and your business, is there anything that you do for fun or as a hobby? Fifth title all the way, B. Well, I appreciate that. And as far as me having fun, I'm very lucky in the fact that training is fun for me. So, coming in here in the gym, getting to work out and do my training is fun. I would say that it hasn't ever really been work necessarily, because I've enjoyed it so much. So I'm lucky in that fact that I get to kind of go after, my hobby, my passion in the gym, and have that translate to work in general, if that's really what you want to call it. But it is fun for me. Outside of that, obviously, I love spending time with my family, with my wife and my boys. And one thing that I do enjoy is fishing, and I would like to do more of that. I've kind of set a goal of trying to get a few fishing trips in, potentially this summer. So I've got to make that happen. It's something I want to share, especially with my family. And I'll pick up on different things as time allows, but with the schedule the way it is, and with the business and training and trying to make everything happen, it is tough to just kind of say, hey, I'm going to pick up a new hobby and go do something different. But I'm lucky that I get to do what I enjoy for work.